for a minute?
You're live.
Oh, we're turning down the music. This is Ask Dogfish Live. We're on the cusp of April. You and I, we are diligently marching towards Record Store Day. You might see above me these beautiful pink records that are celebrating not just Record Store Day. Dogfish is proud to be the official brewery of Record Store Day, but we're also celebrating a collaboration, beer and record, that we did with our pals at the Flaming Lips. I'm excited. I'm going to be going on Record Store Day to visit Wayne Coyne. He and I are going to go bike riding around Oklahoma City, checking out the indie record stores and enjoying some beers together. Speaking of enjoying some beers together, I'm enjoying Lupa Luau as I self-lubricate to answer your questions. What's the first question, guys?
First question we have came from Twitter, and it asks it's from Scott Bowserman.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever considered brewing an ale with the wonderful morel mushroom?
Oh, wow. Have we ever? So this question's from Scott Bowerman on Instagram. The question...
No,
Twitter.
Twitter.
Sorry, I got your platform wrong. That dog's mad at me, too. The question is, have we ever decided or thought about brewing a beer with a beautiful, luscious, and delicious, is the morel mushroom? I don't know. We may have brewed, Mariah, with that. Myself and my son, Sammy, he also happens to be your son, came out of your body. And he and I brewed a beer last summer as an homage to a line from the book Infinite Jest, Sammy and my probably favorite book. And it was called, what was it called? Do you remember?
Subterranean Covert Drama.
Wow, Subterranean Covert Drama. It was our son has expensive taste. It had exotic mushrooms in it and truffles in it. It was a beautiful dark beer. So yes, we've been brewing with mushrooms before. And note to self, we will check out that delicious mushroom variety for a potential future batch. Okay, next question.
Next question. How fun was it to work with Wayne Coyne?
Whoa, that's a timely question. How fun has it been to work with Wayne Coyne and the Flaming Lips? That question comes from our pal.
Oh, I just deleted. I just scrolled away.
Delini Delisa from Des Moines, a new state that we're proud to be in. Shouts to our friends in Iowa. So Wayne Coyne, I gotta say, it's probably one of the most cathartic and beautifully realized, holistically awesome collaborations Dogfish has ever done, because a successful collaboration takes equal input, creative input, executing input from both entities that are involved in the collaboration. There's balance in the universe when it's equitable, and Wayne was way into this program, as were all of our co-workers at Dogfish, from Mark Spusta, who designed the beautiful artwork for the six packs of Dragons and Yum Yums, the beer that we did together, to Wayne and the band, who were thoughtful enough to take it to the extreme and actually write songs utilizing the ingredients in the beer as lyrics to the songs of a limited edition vinyl release that will come out on Record Store Day. So it was super collaborative. One of my greatest mementos in my professional career will be the great thread of text that I have between Wayne and I, kind of ideating on both the beer and the music for this collaboration. That beer, Dragons and Yum Yums, is just now, as of this past Friday, starting to ship coast to coast. So look for the super vibrant pink packaging of Dragons and Yum Yums coming to retail somewhere near you in the next week or so.
The next question comes in from JD Leg.
Yeah.
He wants to know any beer dinners in the works down at the brew pub in Rehoboth.
Oh, that's exactly the kind of thing I should know right now. So those of you who visit our brew pub regularly in downtown Rehoboth might be aware that we're on the precipice of completing a 2-year-long construction project there that started with Chesapeake and Maine, our seafood restaurant in downtown Rehoboth, and will end in this May with the completion of our beautiful new 5-barrel brewery and R&D distillery in downtown Rehoboth. So we always have great fun events on the horizon. The brew pub just did a really cool brunch this past weekend for Wakao, our weekend of compelling ales. I know if you go to dogfish.com and check out upcoming events, you'll see fun stuff happening not just in Rehoboth, but all across the country are events. In fact, Mariah and I head out on Friday and start visiting our distributors in states going up the East Coast, pretty much from Florida to Maine between now and the end of June. And we'll not only just be meeting with our distributors and retailers, but we'll be doing events at retail accounts that will be open for beer lovers in all the states on the East Coast. So again, check out the events page at dogfish.com to find out the events where we'll be hanging out. We invite you to come have one of our beers with us at those events.
What's the best way to enjoy Worldwide Stout?
The best way to enjoy Worldwide Stout is with a loved one, a romantically inclined loved one. I just met these new nice people. Can you pan to the nice folks there wearing the similar dark jackets? They came to our tasting room from Finland, right? They probably didn't hear me. At any rate, and the first beer that they wanted to try was our wood-aged Worldwide Stout with vanilla beans, and loved it. So it's a super dark, complex beer. I say it's a great beer to split with somebody whom you love because it is a bigger beer in terms of ABV. It runs between 15 to 18% alcohol. So the 12-ounce bottles are actually ideal size for sharing basically 2 servings of beer at 6 ounces each, served from a snifter or a red wine glass, listening to beautiful romantic music. Like go to an indie record store day on Record Store Day and seek out the collaborative record that Dogfish and Sony Legacy is putting out this year called Music to Drink Beer and Make Love To. And enjoy those sounds while you enjoy a Worldwide Stout. Right, Mariah?
Yes, very much so.
Very much so. She's super flirty.
Christopher Norris wants to know if you'll ever bottle 75 minutes again.
Wow, good question. So the question is, will Dogfish Head ever bottle 75-minute IPA again? For those of you who might not be familiar with that, we love that beer. It's basically we take 60-minute and 90-minute, blend it into a tank, add a stupid volume of additional whole leaf hops, and then we add maple syrup from the farm that I grew up on in Western Massachusetts, and we add different New England maple syrups to it, and then we package that bad boy at 7.5 ABV. And yes, we've been getting a lot of requests to bring 75 back, so without giving anything away, we're bringing 75 back. I'd say when. What volume? If it'll go coast to coast. Yeah. Matt, come show off the beautiful design of your shirt there. Can you buy that on our website?
You can.
Right. This is Matt who runs the tasting room here at Dogfish.
How's everybody?
Awesome. So I mentioned that vibrant pink artwork that our pal Mark Spoosta did for the Flaming Lips collab beer, Dragons and Yum Yum. It's more than just a beer. It's a record. It's a shirt. It's a lifestyle.
Real men wear pink, right?
And real men wear pink.
Remember that.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay, I have another question
Yep.
for you. What do you think about combining the Worldwide Stout, which we just talked about, at 120, which is the tasting room on Friday?
That seems very responsible. Sounds like a very responsible move. It's basically I've heard it been called a heaven and hell, or blacker and tanner.
Can you say the suggestion again for those at home who couldn't hear?
Oh, for those of you playing at home who couldn't hear my soft-spoken, reserved wife, she got a question in that said, what do you think about combining Worldwide Stout with 120 Minute, which actually gets released this Friday here in our tasting room and starts shipping out coast to coast soon after that. For those of you that know 120 or those who don't, it's a massive, again, between 15 and 18% ABV IPA that Dogfish has been proudly making for almost 2 decades, along with Worldwide Stout we've been making for almost 2 decades. So putting those 2 beers together and blending them, if you like black and tans, if you like huge IPAs, if you like huge imperial stouts, I highly recommend blending those 2. So yes, I would do that.
That's my question. Next question. If not beer, what would your career be?
If not beer, what would my career be? Wow, that's a good one. I've mentioned before I was an English major in college and love reading. I love music as much as I love reading, as much as I love beer, as much as I love distilled spirits, as much as I love wood-grilled food, as much as I love, not quite as much as I love Mariah or my children. Phew, got that one right. But I don't know if that answers that question. I guess I would say an English major, or no, an English teacher that also is in partnership with my wife owning an indie record store. Okay. All right.
Okay, Andy Tibbetts. What's the first piece of advice you give a new brewery?
Andy Tibbetts writes in and asks, what is the first piece of advice I would give an aspiring Newbery owner? And I will say that it's the most competitive moment in the history of the craft brewing renaissance, and we've been in the game for 23 years. The industry really started in 1980 with Sierra Nevada opening, and now when Dogfish started in 93, there were 600 breweries. Now there's 6,000. So awesome in terms of choice and acceptance of really good local craft beer. But it's a challenging moment if you don't bring your A game. If you're a home brewer that just likes to do creative stuff, but maybe isn't so focused on quality or consistency, don't open a small brewery. You'll be doing all of us a disservice, all the great craft brewers across the country. But if you do want to bring the noise in terms of world-class quality, consistency, and well-differentiated, non-derivative recipes, if you can do something unique, creative, that's world-class in quality and consistency, go for it. If you can't do those three things, don't go for it. That's my piece of advice.
What's the most recent album you bought? Kobe Allen wants to know.
Kobe Allen was not at Gidget's Gadgets, the great indie record store in Rehoboth, with Tim and I yesterday, hanging out with the owner of Gidget's Gadgets, Steve, when I bought a number of great records yesterday, including a hit from when we were first dating in high school from our pal Belinda Carlisle from the Go-Go's, I'm Mad About You. That was the last album I bought, along with a Hot House Flowers album and an EP from the Pogues. Those are the three albums I bought yesterday.
Oh, our friends here behind us with the dog
Yes.
want to know.
They're literally
about,
doing this while we're doing this?
Why
don't they just come talk to me?
The
Internet
new
can put up
patio
walls.
at the brew pub in downtown Rehoboth Beach be dog friendly.
Really good news on this. The question is, will our new patio in downtown Rehoboth, our outdoor little space there between Chesapeake and Maine and Brewing's and Eats, be pet friendly?
Dog friendly.
Dog friendly. It is dog friendly. It is fish friendly. Okay? Does that mean it's not cat friendly? We like cats a lot. I don't know if it's cat friendly. I got a lot of cats that are friends. We own dogs, love cats. I'm allergic to them. So yes, the patio in Rehoboth will be dog friendly. I'm excited for that to finally be done in May of this year.
Okay. Brian Massey.
Yep.
He knows we have wood Palo Santo tanks that we
Can't
age
hide
Palo Santo
anything
in.
from Brian. You cannot hide anything
But
from
he's
this
going,
guy.
really? What does that actually do for the beer?
Okay, awesome question from
gotta repeat
Brian Haley.
Massey.
Yeah, Massey. Brian Massey, great question, which is, yes, he knows we have these massive 10,000 gallon oak and Palo Santo wood tanks, but what does that really do for the beer? And that's an excellent question, because there was a long time in brewing history when wood tanks were used, but they were lined with pitch that would basically make the tank itself not add any aromatics or flavor to the beer, because the beer was never actually touching the actual wood. Well, for Dogfish Head and for a lot of indie craft breweries now, we actually want the flavors and aromas of the beer to be in, or the flavors and aromas of the wood to be in the final beer. So we don't line the tanks with pitch. Basically how it works is the natural oils and resins that are on the surface of the wood, the solvent in the beer, that is the natural alcohol, strips those resins and oils off the inner surface of that wood and puts them into solution in your beer. So in the case of oak, it's going to throw vanilla or toasty notes. In the case of Palo Santo, it'll throw caramely, spicy notes. Good question.
Any last questions that you want
any questions that I want to address that have yet to pop up. We haven't announced it yet, but something I'm excited about is that the band White Denim, who I watched once open for Wilco, is going to be playing at Dogfish. Maybe the contract Tim signed. You like White Denim?
Yes, I do.
Nice. I don't know if the contract's signed. I don't know if this hurt our negotiating abilities.
No, they tweeted about it this morning.
Oh, White Denim's already on the internet tweeting about it. So anyway, I'm psyched for that. And that's a new addition to our awesome music lineup on our beautiful stage in downtown Rehoboth. Thank you guys for the time today. Here comes the branding that is always literally in your face on Ask Dogfish Live. Cheers.